So I want to kind of explain a little bit about how all of this came about, where I asked Curt to do a special training. And of course, he is always so kind and generous to help out in any way that ever I ask. He's our up line. So those
just don't call me your great grandpa.
I wouldn't dare do that because we're the same age. We're born in the same year. And so obviously, those of you who went to conference had the opportunity to hear Curt, and Curt, and I'm not sucking up here, you were my favorite speaker. We had phenomenal speakers, but you were my favorite. You did a fantastic job. And Curt has been a really wonderful role model and coach for Bob and I. We have become really great friends over the last 21 years. And the first time I met Curt, I was immediately attracted to his warmth, his character, his integrity, his willingness to share. I always saw him as a great coach and teacher. And so that relationship has been long going over these years. And then, of course, Bob and Curt have also had the opportunity to take a men's trip together and to have some good guy time.
That was a long time ago. That was in Colorado. You remember there's like, what, 7 of us, Curt? And that was...
All for one and one for all.
You still have your sword?
I do. It's on the wall in my office.
Mine's right up there. But yeah, I mean, that was an amazing time that we spent together, and it really just showed what an amazing person you are as far as the depth of your character and really who you are. Because I didn't know who you were. And right after that trip, it was just a real eye opener as to who you. I wish the world had more people in it like you. And I'm not sucking up. I just think you're an amazing person.
He's blushing.
I know.
He's calling me for a favor tomorrow. I know. So.
Yeah. Well, this really came about because of every Monday night, our Christofferson team, we have our team call, and we have been going through the most powerful women in network marketing. And within that framework and that weekend in Vegas, there was a couples panel. And after we had watched this video, I had said to the ladies, I said, how come more of you are not inviting your husbands into the business? Like, what could they bring to the table? How could you work together as a husband and wife? Because he's out there meeting people just like you are. And how could he fit into it? Because since we are primarily women, and I know when you came in, sorry, we're boring you, Curt.
No, just had you on, one of those things.
So when you came into the business, it was primarily a man's business, right?
It was probably 50-50 back then, yeah.
About 50-50. Yeah. And of course, over the years, it has become more heavy on the women's end, though I am seeing a wonderful shift, and I know you are as well, that we're seeing more men and younger men, millennials and Gen Xers coming in and working the business individually and also partnering with their wives.
Partnering with their wives. And I mean, why? And that's what I looked at with Deanna was, why would I not want to work with my best friend? It has an amazing opportunity to be able to work with your spouse and, work from home. And there's so many special redeeming things about this business that, you kind of look at it and go, why would I not do this? So why would we not team up together and make a huge business of this? So that's what's more appealing to more and more people.
Well, and one, like Catherine has always said, doesn't make 2. 1 and 1 makes 11, because the 2 of you together as a couple, I think, can be unstoppable. And I think what Jay says it best is find a buddy. Now, if you're not married and you don't have a spouse that wants to participate or a significant other, certainly find a buddy.
Get one.
Get a buddy. So we're going to go ahead and have Bob do the formal introduction, and then we're going to have you go ahead and get into your training piece of this tonight, Curt.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to just kind of do a real quick one because I'm going to let you talk. But Curt is a graduate from Georgia Tech University. He and his wife, Lori, are proud parents of 3 amazing children, and they are truly amazing children. They're actually adults. They're not children. Curt loves working with his family and has business in 50 states and 26 countries around the world, inspiring healthy living around the world. And it all started with a $50 investment. And, when you look at this business compared to a traditional business or anything like that, it's almost a double-edged sword because, a $50 investment, that's not a whole lot. So Curt was one of the smart ones that took advantage of this. And Now his business is in multiple millions of dollars in sales and impacts families all around the world with financial freedom. And this has allowed them to live what Curt claims as his motto, make a life, not just a living. And that's so true. You know, isn't that what we're wanting to do? This is our life is not a dress rehearsal. Every day you've got to live, you know, the best. And so this business will allow you to make not just a life, but a living. So we're proud to have Curt, you know, teaming up with us tonight. And I'm proud to call him a friend. And, you know, he never ceases to amaze us. So with that, Curt, please take it away.
Well, I'm so glad to be on here, and I'm looking forward to being with you guys in Tahoe. And I hope those of you that are joining us from all over the country get some benefit out of this, because I think it's an important topic. I was glad when Deanna asked me, and I'm going to go to a slide PowerPoint presentation in a minute, but I'm going to just kind of start. Most of this is going to be me sharing from my heart and my head, but I believe so much in what we do. It's hard for me not to be passionate about sharing it. And just a couple more details about my story. We did get started for my wife to be in this business. I mean, that was just so you'll know, I didn't just jump out of Georgia Tech and say, this is going to be my career. Yes, let's go do it. We started with very small vision. But we did see, when we started looking for a way for Lori to make $1,000 a month, so that when we had our first child, she could stay at home. We were planning ahead. You know, we got married, and she had a plan. Married 3 years, have your first child, wait 2 years, have a second, wait 2 years, have the third. And part of that worked out, but you know, God's in charge of those kind of things. So, but we were wanting to get ready for that first child to come so she could stay at home. And she really wanted that passionately. She didn't just, I think this would be the best way to do it. That was what she wanted to do, to be a mom. And she'd be with us tonight, but she's working with a new millennial on Voxer and Zoom right now as we're on the phone. So as we're on the call. But anyway, we worked this business together, even though I was still full-time in my real estate career. We were still in our first year out of college. And very quickly, our $50 investment, goal to make $1,000, got me full-time with her too. So she started, and about 4 or 5 months later, I was full-time with her also. And when Deanna asked me to do this, I think what she was really wanting me to share was, what does it look like for the men to join their spouses in this business? Why does it make sense for men to do this business when it seems like it's mostly women being around us? And I want to talk about the business in general, what it takes to build a virtual franchise, but also how I'm comfortable and why I'm comfortable doing this on a day in, day out basis. I'm going to pull the PowerPoints up. I may bounce around a little bit, but I'm going to see if I can pull that up. Go right there we go. And I'm going to leave it in this mode so I can change slides. But, you know, in order to build a business like ours, it takes, first of all, it really takes a decision to do it. And I don't know where each of you all are in your life, but when we got started, we were around a lot of other couples where the mom wanted to stay at home. And so that was our reason, and we were able to share that reason with a lot. We also ran into a lot of people that traveled way more than they wanted to. We ran into a lot of people that it wasn't necessarily that they weren't making enough money. We all want to make more, because there's things we can do as we have more resources. So we all want to make more, but a lot of people got in our business not because of more money, but because of time freedom, that they wanted control of their time. And that's what we're seeing with these young millennials now too, is they get a degree and they're excited about this big new life in front of them. And their first couple of years out of college, they realize they got a degree, and what they really got was a commute, a computer, and a cubicle. And they weren't fulfilled. They're not fulfilled. And they're turning to us to find a place where they can go make a difference, where they can invest themselves in something, where they build a business that they own, that they're not working for someone else building their business, that they're actually putting their time and efforts into something that they'll own. And that excited me. And what got me interested, I think the number one thing that got me to pull the trigger and dive in with my wife was about 30 days into this business. We got started and we were very committed, and we did go fast. We got 38 customers our first month, and we got 5 distributors. And that sounds like a lot, but in the 38 customers, 13 looked at the business and 5 joined us. But we just kind of went all out from day one. We sacrificed some free time, some social time, and we just went at it hard. And there are people that have done way more than that their first month, and that's way above the average. But we decided we were all in. We wanted to do it. And at the end of that first month, we didn't understand what we were doing. And probably a lot of you have partners or spouses in the business that got started, and maybe you're still at this place where you're amazed by this product. Your own personal family and bodies have benefited from this product. You've blessed others with this product. But really, all you know that you're doing is taking and sharing an amazing product and have no idea or grasp on the business model as a whole. And after 30 days in the business, our upline did not understand the business. The person that brought us in the business was a pastor's wife, sweet as she could be, but she did not understand the business. But after that first month, the person that was her upline, and it's really cool in our business right now is our new leadership programs are unfolding. We've really kind of defined that person, the one I'm talking about, the one that in my upline that understood the business, and we're calling them success partners now. And even if you're not in the Brave Leaders program, your upline national marketing director can either be or can help you find who your success partner should be, and they can begin working with you right now. But that person that was 2 above us said, hey, you all are doing great. You could do so much more with this business. Do you want me to sit down and explain it to you? And we said, sure. We were really celebrating that we'd hit our $1,000 a month goal and way more than that our first month. But he said, you brought 5 people on board. If you'll just work with those 5 people, you could be a national marketing director. We didn't know what a national marketing director was. He explained the benefits and the college tuition and the expense allowance. And we kind of said, hey, we want that. And so our vision changed completely from let's go get some customers and make $1,000 a month to let's go build a business that can change our life. And I think those of you that want to do this business together as a couple, and you're not just after $1,000 a month, you're after a 6-figure income and build an incredible business for you and your family with benefits and expense allowance. What I want to do tonight is try and kind of paint that picture for you. Every time I sit down and explain our business, it always starts with the product, because there is no business without our product. But it always starts with our product. But then very quickly when I share the business, I show people where they can end up. I start with national marketing director and explain what you can achieve with this business, the 6-figure income and the benefits and expense allowance. And we work backwards and begin to lay out the plans to build that house. And if you don't see that, when you get off the call tonight, that's what you need to do, is to sit down with your upline, whether it's Bob and Deanna or whoever that might be, and sit down and say, can you show me what I need to do to build a business that would reach the goals that I want to reach? Whether it's national marketing director, whether it's $500 a month, we can help you do the activities and do the things you need to do to build the business you want to build. But here's what I think happens when we get started in this business. And this is a little bit what I talked about at conference, but then I'm just going to summarize it. And that is that we all want to go build a business, but we all get consumed by busyness. And I think busyness keeps most of us from building our business. And so what I wanted to share with you is, if you treat this business like a hobby and let it happen in the midst of the times you're not busy, you're never going to finish building your model airplane, because the people that are successful in this business are busy. Because the ones that aren't busy, they're not the kind of people that are going to succeed in this business for the most part, because it is so easy to stay busy in this life. I mean, whether it's social, volunteer, Bible study, church, school, music, sports, recreation, vacation. I mean, life is busy. But we've got to decide that you want to go out and build this business in the midst of the life you already have. And the good thing is that building a business like ours doesn't require you to go find 20 hours a week or 10 hours a week. What it requires you to do is understand and develop the skill and strategy of, you're not going to go out and find time to go out and do Juice Plus in addition to your currently busy schedule. you're going to go out and do life like you always do it and take Juice Plus with you. In all honesty, I do not remember the last time I left my house to go sell Juice Plus. You know, my last Juice Plus sale was on the golf course, sitting next to somebody on an airplane, in a duck blind hunting in Arkansas. You know, when my kids were young, it was sitting on the sidelines of watching them at a sporting event. It was going to a men's conference in the mountains with 400 men, going up there for a spiritual retreat with my church. And I didn't go up there to do business, but I talked about life and things that are important. And I got a bunch of customers. So don't think as a businessman or woman that you have to go find X number of hours a week to go start this business. You have to learn how to build your business in the midst of your busyness. And one of the things that you know for sure is this company and this business model. So our product, Juice Plus, and the business model we employ, the virtual franchise, they're going to be rock solid and stable for you. Even when the world gets busy around you, you've got a brand name product, you've got research, you've got farms and farmers across the country. You've got people that are making sure that's stable. So your busyness is not going to change the amazingness of that product. And our virtual franchise is supported by our home office staff. They have accounting, payroll, shipping, collect the money, provide the websites. All those things are happening, and that's not going to change in the midst of your busyness, okay? But the one thing that you're going to have to deal with is you're going to have to blend this into the life you already have. And most of us, you know, me included, the easy thing to do is just to find out about something like this, listen to a call like this. This sounds amazing. This is what we need to do, honey. You know, let's go do this together and build that kind of business. But then all of a sudden you get off the call, you wake up in the morning, get kids off to school, commute to work, and life happens, and you settle back into that comfort zone. And the challenge, you know, really tonight on the call is where you are right now, where you want to be, or where you want to end up. I remember people saying over the years to me, if for things to change, I got to change. And so I love this picture right here where, you know, the life, the green, the life where you want to be, it's outside of your comfort zone. You can't dwell in your comfort zone and just maintain your current modus operandi and expect to go build that life you want to build. And that's what my wife and I decided. I remember that first year we got in the business, y'all may or may not relate to this, but I went to Georgia Tech, which is in the ACC. And the years I was in college, we had a very, very good basketball program. And that basketball program took us to the Final Four several years. So as a college student, you know, the social life and the excitement, I mean, I was a diehard ACC basketball, Georgia Tech basketball fan when I graduated. So I had no money, but I was determined I was going to get tickets and keep going to those basketball games. The free student tickets were nice, but I wasn't going to stop going. And we found out that we had to make in order to get tickets, it was sold out. So you couldn't just go buy tickets. You actually had to make a donation to the athletic foundation or whatever it was so that you were eligible to buy tickets. And me and three buddies, we were so upset. But we decided we could scrape up enough money. If we pooled together our money, we could donate enough and buy tickets, and we could share the tickets. We're so excited. Well, we signed up to do Juice Plus about a month after we had bought and ordered those tickets. And all of a sudden, January came around, and we had just started our Juice Plus business. Do you know that I forfeited with no reimbursement? I didn't go to one basketball game that January, February, or March because we made a decision that there was something that we wanted bad enough that we were willing to put aside the immediate, comfortable, normal things that we wanted to do to go build that business. And it's going to take that from you guys too. But we also found out we needed to have a plan and a strategy and something we needed to do to go build this business. We needed like the architecture, the blueprints. And at our first meeting we went to, all I remember of them telling us, and again, remember we were excited because we weren't into NMD and let's go build big six-figure income yet. It was just, if we do this, Lori can stay at home, $1,000 a month. So we were naive. We were 22, 23 years old. And I remember them saying, you need to write down 300 names. And that's very daunting to a 23 and 22-year-old to try and come up with a list of 300 names. That's what they told us. So we just kind of, I guess, out of naivety, just did what they told us. And we got to 150 and we got stuck. And we called and said, we're sorry, we're out of names. We've gone to wedding lists. We've gone to neighborhood directories. We've gone to yearbooks, church, Sunday school lists, everything we knew to find names. We got 150 and we felt defeated. And they said, well, just get out the yellow pages. Like, there is no freaking way that I'm going to call people out of the yellow pages. It just ain't going to happen. I don't care how good this business is. I'm not going to just play New York stockbroker and dollar for dollars. I'm not going to do it. And he called and said, he said, you don't understand. He said, everybody that gets in this business has no idea the potential of their network. They know so many more people than they think they know, but they need something to trigger their mind with categories. And it's starting to make a little more sense. And I was listening, and he said, start with, start with architects, and you go through chiropractors and, barbers and chiropractors and dentists and exterminators and farmers. And you go through and said, you just think, who do I know that does this? And sure enough, we had 300 names the next morning. And nowadays, Julie Herbst and several other people have amazing, you don't have to get the yellow pages out. You don't even have to get the Yellow Pages app out on your phone. We've got lists and to help you trigger and think of these things. So if you want to do that and want to put together a really good list, Bob, Deanna, or whoever you're working with as your leader can get you that list and get it accessible to you. The other thing you've got going for you that I utilize many times over, and Bob and Deanna talked about me helping them some, and we've all got other leaders and mentors that help us, but there are people that have reached the top of the mountain already that are willing to reach back and pull you up to where they are. That's the way our business model works. You don't have to go pay an outside, guru to train you or whatever. We have built into our system a plan where when somebody becomes successful, they reach back and help the next person, the next generation person that wants to be successful. They reach back and we pull you up there. So there's a plan to help you. You don't have to go do it alone. But you do have to have one thing, just like Lori and I had that why, that reason for her to stay at home as a stay-at-home mom. You need to have a reason that you're doing this, because that's what's going to drive you. Yeah, you can make national marketing director and you can have that NMD title behind your name. But I tell people all the time, it's wonderful that you made national marketing director. But because you made national marketing director and you're able to build that six-figure income and have the benefits and the expense allowance, and you've got this residual income coming in, what is you making national marketing director going to do towards creating the life you want to create? What is, this is Viktor Frankl from a Nazi prison camp, and he survived and many didn't. And it wasn't just, I don't want to die, that kept him alive. It was, he had things he wanted to do when he got out. He wanted to get out to do things. So he hung in there and survived, while many that were just trying to avoid death and had no plans, they didn't make it. And, for you and your family, if you can figure out what you want, quote unquote, tomorrow to look like, what do you want? If it's family time, if it's vacations, if it's private schools, if it's, house paid off, if it's taking a certain vacation or having a beach house or a lake house, or just having the time to spend with your family in the woods, hunting, fishing, going to sporting events, whatever. If you can say, okay, here's what today looks like. I want tomorrow to look like this. Once you establish that, that becomes your why. And then you'll do whatever it takes today once you want that why bad enough. And each of you's got, that's an individual decision for each of you. But for Lori and I, it was for her to be able to stay at home. That was our initial driving why. And then it was for us to be able to work together, like Bob and Deanna talked about how wonderful it is for, your best friend, your spouse, and you to be able to work together, work out of your home, not get in a car and, face traffic every day. I live in Atlanta, and y'all probably even heard about it on the national news. We had one of our, the most major interstates going through our city. It collapsed, and it's out for 6 months. And Atlanta was already one of the worst traffic situations in the country, and you take one of our interstates and it's gone. You can't use it. And you can imagine, and I've had to deal with it a couple times when I had to go meet somebody for something, but I would literally, without the bridge and the interstate being out, I'd have been on Prozac driving in that traffic every day. I can't even imagine having to do that every day. And, you know, that became a why for us. I was driving 40 miles to work from our house in traffic every day. And, you know, there were things that, you know, if we could build this business and I could stay at home, there were all kind of reasons that became important to us. And I'm not going to do a training tonight because we don't have time. But for those of you that are business people and you like to get up and be regimented, we do have what we call daily methods of operation, important things that you can wake up and plan your day and do on a daily basis that'll help you reach your goals this month, next month, 6-month goals. And it's very important that you build some rhythm into your daily life. I think you've got to build rhythm into your day, your week, your month. You got to have a plan. And, you know, I sit down, you know, every week, and whether it's usually Sunday night, sometimes it's early Monday morning for me, and I take a look at the week and what has to happen. And really all that starts for me with making a decision to manage the month. Our business runs on a calendar month, and whatever you do this month is how you're going to be paid by the 10th of the next month. Like we're about to get paid. We do direct deposit. Bob, Deanna, me, all of you that are in the business, we're about to get paid in the next couple of days before the 10th every month based on what we did last month. And as soon as you learn to build your daily, your DMO, and your weekly planning into a strategy of accomplishing certain goals and hitting certain measures each month, then you're in charge of your paycheck. And the cool thing about our business is when you start to drive that paycheck, it's residual. You build it and you start the next month where you ended the previous month. You build a new foundation every month because you're building that customer base that's reorder. You're building a team that's growing and climbing. So it's not this roller coaster ride of income up and down. So it's real important to plan your month out. A couple more things and we'll end because we're trying to keep this to 30 minutes. Tack hammer, sledgehammer, that's there for one reason is, you know, you can think you're going to like come across as a salesperson and ruin friends and ruin relationships. And you definitely can do that in this business. And the way you do that is thinking you're a rock star salesperson. I got this. And you need to get 5 customers this month to hit your goal. And you decide, if I talk to 6 people, I'll get at least 5 of them. I might get all 6. And what happens is because you're talking to only so few people, you have high pressured, intense conversations and it's not fun. And the tack hammer, that's the sledgehammer approach. The tack hammer approach is I'm going to have fun, exciting, passionate conversations about getting healthier, about building a business, about having time freedom with hundreds of people. And some are going to be ready now, some are going to be ready next month, and some are going to be ready later. So it's easier, more fun, and it's relationship building instead of relationship destroying when you have lots of conversations, and the people that are ready will rise to the top, and the others will be ready later. And that way you let people catch a hold of your passion and vision and what you're doing, and all of a sudden you become an attractant instead of a recruiter. It's so much easier to be attractive in this business than it is to be good at recruiting. And you do that by having lots of passionate, exciting, fun conversations. So don't use the sledgehammer, just use the tack hammer and keep having those fun conversations with people. Some of you on here may be in a business where you go out and you go try and conquer these big deals. Just one word of wisdom. There are going to be elephants you can hunt in this business and they're out there. But our business is built on the fact that you hunt squirrels while you're hunting elephants, and you don't starve to death in the process. And squirrels can turn into elephants. Just like you eat that elephant one bite at a time, you've got to be busy about the small things in this business because they turn into the big things, okay? All of our tools, I'm not even going to get into those. We've got digital, paper, video, audio, apps, Facebook groups. We have all the resources you need, live events, online events. And you need to learn what's available to you, and you don't have to be good at all of them. Some of the people in our business try to put round pegs in square holes, or square pegs in round holes, whichever one's the right way to say it. I think both work. But either way, I don't like doing parties in my house. I've got people that are making 6-figure incomes. They're the best hostesses in the world. And they do amazing events, you know, regularly in their homes. You know what? I'm just like on the golf course at Starbucks. Get me with 2 guys and a cup of coffee at Starbucks, and that's where I'm at my best. But we've all got all these resources. Find which ones are the most effective to you and then continue to use those. But just know what's available, because somebody you recruit on your team may like the tool you don't like as much. And they're all out there for all of us to use, okay? And this is my favorite. It's the community we have. This is our boot camp in the Blue Ridge Mountains we do. I'm sure we'll have some fun and pics from the one in Lake Tahoe coming up soon, the Sierra Summit. But you build a community and a family. Well, it's like a family reunion almost when we have some of these events. But all of you are in this and on this mission together. And you've got, when you have a bad day, somebody's got a good day and they're right there beside you. And the community we have to support each other is absolutely amazing. And it helps us keep our tanks full. Whether it's, leadership materials, whether it's training, mentoring, we've got places to keep your tank full so you can go build your business. And all you really need to build this business is three things. You got to maximize your resources. We've got time resources, money resources, and relationships, people resources. And the three numbers there, that 100 is off somehow. It's 50. It's not 10. You see the zero down there by the person's head. It's 50, 100, 24. And the formula, to me, the basic formula, the starting point is for in this business is for somebody to make the commitment. They're going to spend $50 to sign up. They're going to get a list of at least 100 names down to plan a strategy to expose them to this amazing product, and then intentionally talk to a few of them about the business. And they're going to commit to 24 months. We actually have a 24-month step-by-step roadmap to get you to that six-figure income national marketing director with benefits and expense allowance. You can do it faster, but we've got it mapped out for you to do it in 24 months. Mm-hmm. The thing you're going to tell yourself is, well, now's not a good time. As soon as I finish this, or as soon as this happens, or whatever, I promise you, in your busyness, you're never going to find that perfect time to get started. And I will tell you that right now we've just launched a brand new Omega blend, which is a breakthrough, a plant-based Omega blend. We've got a brand new leadership program. Our company's growth is beyond what anything we could ever imagine. We're breaking all kinds of records. Now is the right time. I know you're going to say, well, I've got this going on, I've got that going on. And then when that's over, something else is going to be there. So if you really do want to make some changes and there's a tomorrow you don't have, there's never a better time than right now to do it. And don't go back and get in that comfort zone, because I found this picture on the internet and I love this. If you go back after you know this and really want to do this and want to create that tomorrow, and you go back and get into the flow of what's normal, it just makes me think of this water, and the only thing that floats and goes with the flow are the dead fish. And none of you on this call want to be floaters in the flow. You want to craft that flow and direction you want for you and your family. So I know Bob and I have a favorite t-shirt, and I created this logo and made some shirts for some of our leaders a few years ago. But the bottom line is Juice Plus is going to be there for you, but you have to decide if you're willing to go out and be the plus in some other people's lives and make a difference and build the business you want to build. And it's really that simple. And you can make $500 a month or $500 an hour or anywhere in between, because we've got people doing all of that. But you got to decide what you want.